Wagwan everybody on YouTube. My name is Kobe. Welcome back to Nimbus Gaming. Today we're gonna go over my Kullervo build, the best melee frame in Warframe. If you don't think so, that's cool. But in my opinion, he's the best. Fight me. Alright, so today we're gonna go over my build, which I use in Steel Path and in Netracells. So it's my go-to Netracell solo build. This is the frame that I pretty much use entirely for, well, not entirely for initial cells, but this is the only frame that I'll use in initial cells solos. So let me go ahead and go over to the build. Alright, so as you can see, I do route the turret, but it's mainly just here for if I get in a pinch. I don't really use it that often. I mainly use either the Praetos or the dual Ichors, which, if I'm being honest, I do prefer using the dual Ichors because you get a little bit more DPS. But for the Praetos, I use them for the perks of being fast, because I can zoom around. It gives you increased um, parkour velocity. For my dual Ichors, the Incarnon evolutions are Ronin's Rush, which is the attack speed, Resolute Force, which is just combo duration, and Absolute Valor, which is the base status chance. And really, you could always switch this out because Kullervo innately gives combo duration. But yeah, and for secondaries, I tend to use a primer. I've tried using the Epitaph, not my cup of tea. I don't really like how it fires. Plus my Kuvanukor, I use it for DPS as well. So it's a mix between DPS and priming, which I have currently viral radiation and heat. And for the Torrid, it's just a normal viral build. As you can see, it's just a normal viral 100 munitions build. Nothing too crazy. I do have a little crit chance Riven, as you can see. But yeah, let's get to the meat of the matter, to Kullervo. Hope you guys like my fashion. It's nothing too crazy. It's nothing too crazy. But yeah, so as you guys can see, I do have 4 Tau Forge purple shards. I could do 5, but I opted for a Tau Forge Amber or Yellow Shard for the casting speed because my kit this is a no helmet build, so I do have the Storm of Ukko, which I do prefer to have a little bit of casting speed when it comes on to casting that, right? So going on to my Kullervo build, as you guys can see, I do have the Excella slot. It's not unlocked as yet because I currently don't want to invest a Umbral Forma. So the original build had overextended here. However, after doing some checks and some research, I realized that to get the full 100% damage redirection by your third, which is Collective Curse, you need, I believe, is it 200? You need at least 200 strength, and with overextended, I would have to run Molt Augmented. However, Arcane Fury and Arcane Energize just work a lot better for me in this case. Alright, so just to go over Kullervo's build, not necessarily his build, but just to go over Kullervo's abilities. His first, Wrath of Ukko, essentially you teleport. Let me just go to the Simulacrum and show you guys this. Alright, so here we are in the Simulacrum. Let me just go over the build once more. So when it comes on to the build, as you guys see, this is the current build. Running Steel Charge for that extra melee damage, Prime Continuity, Umbral Intensify, and Vitality. Seeing as Kullervo is pretty much a quote-unquote health frame. He does get Overguard, but he's naturally just a health frame. So you want to double down on that. Running Prime Flow, because working with these Tau Forge Violet or Purple Shards, once you have over 500 energy, you get double the amount of crit damage that it will normally give you, which is 37%. So after running over 500 energy, you'd have about, let's see here, you'd have 74 you'd have 74% increase, or 74% when it comes on to critical damage for each of these shards. And I do believe Warframe rounds up, so I do believe it should be 75. You guys could let me know if I'm wrong about that. So running 4 of these, if we're going to use 75, if we're using all with all 4 of these, would be 300%. So that would be an added 300% when it comes on to crit damage. I see here, and for the companion, we're running Nautilus just for the grouping. This is my Nautilus build. It's nothing too crazy. I don't necessarily rely too heavily on my companions, hence why I don't really use a maxed out assault mode. Then again, I really just haven't gotten the time into putting a 4-man into Nautilus. I just got bored one day and just bought him from the shop because I couldn't bother to be running Railjack missions. We have the Volclock for added crit damage as well, running Tenacious Bond. Let's see here. You guys don't need to see that. Alright, so going forward with the melee build. So let's see here. So I currently have some Eximus. Well, let's do it on the Eximus. Doesn't really make a difference. Alright, so to show you guys his Kullervo's abilities, his first ability, his one is that. So essentially you teleport to the enemy and do a heavy attack, right? And that was Wrathful's Bands, right? So his second ability is his survivability, right? So you throw out these daggers, and each enemy it hits, it'll give you a percentage of overguard, or a total of overguard forward, right? And you gotta be careful when it comes on to this ability. If you throw this ability out and there's no enemies for it to hit, then the daggers will come back to you, right? And when they come back to you, what will happen is that you'll take damage, right? So it'll either take a chunk of your overguard out, or it'll actually take a chunk of your health out, right? And for Collective Curse, this ties all of the enemies together with a chain. So say for instance, I do something like this, all of those enemies now take that amount of damage, right? As you guys can see. Right? Alright, so, and for his fourth ability, it is the Storm of Uko, which locks down a area with falling daggers that do they only do slash damage, which is great, especially when you're running like a viral primer. It could be great when it comes down to that. So what I tend to do is I know a lot of people use his 2 to build combo, but what I do is I use his 4 to build combo. So what I'll do typically is I run into a group of enemies, I'll pull his 4 out to build his combo, and once I have enough combo to activate my Incarnon, I'll throw out my 3, and then draft to advance, right? And then I'll do the same. Right, so I'll do the same thing over and over again. And as you guys can see with the dual Icarus, it does create a gas cloud. Especially since I'm using melee influence, so all of my status procs will then carry over to multiple enemies, right? So Collective Curse, draft that down, right? See, it pretty much kills every enemy that's in the chain because it's doing 100% of my damage. So if it kills one enemy, it'll kill all enemies that are connected, right? So that's the way it works. So just to show you guys that with a max combo multiplier of 12. There we go. Chain. Wrap that out. And he'll die soon from all the slash procs from Storm of Uko. Right. So what I'm gonna be doing now is to do an actual Netracell run, a solo. So to show you guys exactly what I normally do when it comes on to using this build. Right. So let me just explain from now exactly why I use Kullervo in these builds and not any other frame. I know there's a lot of like support frames and tank frames and frames that heal themselves and stuff like that. The reason why I use Kullervo is I'm a big fan of melees, and the fact that I give myself overguard whilst healing my health, it's just a big plus because most of the modifiers in the Netracells are self-damaging, or essentially they just take away your health or your energy. Um, Typically what I'll do is to gather my overguard and then just run in, right? But you guys will see exactly what I mean. But yeah, as I was explaining before, sorry if you guys hear my fan in the background. It's very hot here in Jamaica. Alright, so as I was saying prior, is most of these modifiers in the Netracells, or these keys, are self-damaging, or they prevent you from using certain things, or you lose health over time. Like this one, you knife step, you lose health while running. Jumping causes the effect, right? So the way this is calculated in game is if I use overguard, instead of actually deteriorating my actual health, it'll take down my overguard, right? And this is essentially, yeah. So every time I take damage, stuff on slash drop. You guys get the idea. Extra Eximus, that's nothing. And abilities do damage. My abilities normally do damage regardless. Alright, let's see here. Pop it with my Cypher. And hop on. So what I'll typically do first is, once I'm in, the first set of enemies, I'll just use them to charge my overguard. So I'll toss it out. So seeing as I do have the modifier knife step, that every time I take a step, I take 1 damage, what I'll typically do is just run and bullet jump a lot, because to be honest, I don't really parkour a lot in this game, seeing that I normally use like gouge and stuff like that, so I'm typically sprinting. But in situations like these, I'll parkour a lot more. Just to get my turret charged up, so whenever I need it, I have it. I'm sorry if you guys are seeing some little cuts in the screen. I'm not sure what's going on with my capture card. It's a bit weird, and I've tried to fix it, but it's still kind of acting up. Hopefully it doesn't show up when I'm actually editing. But if it does, I do apologize for that. Oop, I was looking at my computer. Yeah, let's see here. That's number 2. And if you guys need a better explanation of what or how to run Netracell, just let me know in the comments, and I'll go ahead and let you guys know, and I'll do a video on that. Because right now, I guess this video is more so just about Kullervo and not necessarily the Netracell. Sort of just assuming that you guys know what Netracells are, which should not be the case, because you should never assume. And yes, I do know that I can use my operator to zip around and stuff. I'm not a big fan of using the operator. Get that overguard back up. Yeah, I do know that you guys can essentially just use 2 of those and then just try to find it. But I prefer to get all 3 of them, just to be sure of where it is, to save time. Oops. Excuse me. How rude. I will deal with him later. Alright, there's the Netracell. And now to eliminate all the enemies in the surface, what I'll do, as I said, draw out my full... Oh, I don't have any energy. That's unfortunate. Well, I do have my turret for times like this. As you guys can see, I'm in a bit of a pickle here. Alright, and everything's back to normal, as it should be. Right, I am using my turret a bit. I do apologize. That's just so I can get everything working as it should. Goodbye, Mr. Netracell. Oh, that's the mission. That's the guzzling. Yeah, I mean, as you guys can see, it does do a lot of damage this build, and it does get rid of the enemies extremely fast. So you never actually have to worry about all that stuff. That's a crazy place for a necromite to be. Come on, guys, we're not fighting out here. Let's get back to the circle. Excuse you. And as you guys saw, as soon as my overguard breaks, I'm able to get it back just by casting my 2. So you just want to ensure that you have enough energy to cast your 2 to get that overguard back. And as you guys can see, I have no issue running, keeping my combo up due to the fact that I'm currently running Narrowmond as my focus tool, as well as the fact that I have Storm of Ukko running pretty much constantly. As long as I have the energy for Storm of Ukko, I'll have it up just to ensure that my combo stays up as well. How are you? Oh, what the hell? How is this dude not exploded yet? That is a full-fledged torch shot straight to the dome. Alright, let's go, guys. Come on, follow the leader. Oh, there's a Jade Eximus here. Oh, hello, my friend. Oh, the guard is broken. Got it back. Where the hell is this Jade Eximus? He's just somewhere sniping me. Oh, there he is. The guard broken, got it back, and boom, Netracell opened, just like that. And there we have it, folks. Netracell completed. And it was completed in about 10 minutes. The other 2 minutes is essentially just me running into the Netracell to collect everything, then run to extraction. So we got an amber Archon shard, aka yellow shard. But yeah. And how many enemies did I kill? That was 220, 130 with melee. I guess the rest was pretty much the couple I killed with turret and the ability kills. So yeah, so as you guys see, when it comes on to using this build, it's very refined, except for that one moment where I kind of had a hiccup because I didn't realize that I had the modifier to lose energy. I think I did, or I just didn't get energy because I wasn't killing enemies. I was just running straight to the checkpoint and then running back. But yeah, so besides that one hiccup, and you guys saw that, hey, the Umbral Vitality that I have did come in handy because when it was just pure health, I was able to tank the hits. I was able to tank hits and shots from the Necromech, and yeah, so I was able to do all of that and more. And then when it comes down to the actual DPS, he's broken, especially with the dual Icarus, he's broken. If you guys, so that's my Kullervo build. I hope you guys try it out. Well, if you guys decide to try it out, hope you guys have fun with it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, a great week. Look out for TennoCon coming this Saturday, depending on whenever I put this video out. Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions or any specific frames you guys would like to see me build or show off my builds for, just go ahead and comment down below and let me know. Thank you guys so much for joining me once more. Like the video, subscribe. Peace.